Hi, I'm Enchanting Nubianette. Welcome back. And if you're new to my channel, welcome. Everyone, I have new news that hasn't even been all over the networks as yet. Unfortunately, on the Carnival horizon, there was a tragedy. An 18-year-old young woman, barely in her adulthood, she passed away on this cruise ship. It's a news story, and the information is very murky right now. However, this Carnival Horizon, it was set to sail on November 2nd. It was a 6-night voyage. But when it returned to the port in Miami, November 8th, so this is so new, the mood was so somber because the FBI was waiting at the dock. It wasn't for a routine inspection, but it was to investigate the passing of this young passenger, this young girl. Details are very scarce. And even like I said, the main news reports, authorities, they haven't really released her name or even the cause of her passing yet, but there's a lot of whispers and they're very loud.
The FBI is in South Florida this weekend investigating the death of a passenger aboard one of Carnival's cruise ships this week. Officials say a guest died aboard the Carnival Horizon that returned to Miami Saturday morning. We'll keep you updated as we press officials for more information on the situation. Stay with us on air and online. We'll bring you any updates as soon as they become available.
I don't know if it was a substance, but this caused her to be unalived. And again, I don't know, if she had a room by herself, she could have, because maybe, I don't know if she went onto the cruise by herself or with her family. But usually, as a teenager, you would have your own room. So unfortunately, this young girl, whoever she went on the cruise with, this is a fun occasion. Everybody's having a lot of fun. But you cannot be always so trusting. So most likely someone that she met, gave her this substance, and now, her family or friends, what have you, they have to plan this funeral. This is so heart-wrenching, everyone. It just goes to show you have to watch the people that you meet. Do not trust everyone. Do not make sure you watch your drinks. Keep your eye on anything that you're going to ingest. And there's definitely a lot more to come with this story. So, this should not have happened, whether it was foul play and a medical emergency or negligence. The fact remains that this is someone's daughter and she did not come home. This is so horrific because, this is a space for leisure. This is a space for exploring, especially as a teenager. You have your independence. And, trusting the wrong person, unfortunately, has this outcome.
Hey everyone. Well, unfortunately, got some very regrettable news. Today, I was checking the comments of my most recent video, which came from the Carnival Horizon, in which I received a disturbing comment that I'll share right here. I do not know if this is a valid comment from the actual aunt or uncle of the individual, which it's, again, if it is a young person as referenced in this comment, my heart just goes out to the person who left this comment and you and your family, and it's just tragic news. Obviously, deaths are something that happen on cruise ships, but it's usually an elderly person of natural causes, and their body fails them or whatever. But if this is in fact a murder, there are investigations. I've perused several articles that have come out in the past hour or two. It's a news story that's come to light. So if anybody has any more information that was maybe on that cruise ship that could shed some light, please post in the comments for the rest of us. But again, very disturbing news coming out of Miami for passengers that have gotten off the Carnival Horizon today. So yeah, that's it.
Wrapped up in the sheet. That's the major question. Who did this? And, we know cameras definitely would be in the corridors on the cruise ship. Fingerprints will be taken as well. And when you have your card, it's known who is going in and out of the room. So I definitely believe that and trust that this person will be caught sooner rather than later. So the thing is, to prevent this, the cruise lines, they really need to report these incidents very clearly and promptly. The information that I saw on social media were from people who are aboard the ship. And of course, even if you don't know the person personally, you all are like a family because you are, living amongst each other for several days, and even some people for longer than that. So there's no hiding behind PR statements. There shouldn't be any vague press releases. When a life is lost, the public deserves to know what happens and why. Because many people are, investing right now, making reservations for their trip. Many people have their trip planned and they need to have a heads up about this.
Now at 7:06, the FBI is in South Florida this weekend investigating the death of a passenger aboard one of Carnival's cruise ships this week. Officials say a guest died aboard the Carnival Horizon that returned to Miami Saturday morning. We'll keep you updated as we press officials for more information on the situation. Stay with us on air and online. We'll bring you any updates as soon as they become available.
Deck, you can't afford to protect your passengers, right, YouTube family? With all those amenities, and they're awesome on a cruise ship. It's one of the best experiences I've had, and I've been on several. Norwegian, Carnival, Royal Caribbean, and so forth. But we need to have safety. We also need to have advocacy. Communities, they must demand representation in travel safety boards, maritime law discussions, and cruise line leadership. Because when we're in the room, we can ask hard questions and also push for real change. There have been so many tragedies on board cruises. I mean, there are some YouTube content creators who focus solely on cruise ship tragedies because they occur so many times, unfortunately. There's a lot of unsolved mysteries as well, where there's many cases that haven't been solved after years, even over 5 years or more, sadly. And there's also times, of course, where, you never know if someone, was lost at sea by mistake or if this happened purposefully. Even sometimes people are on their wedding cruise, and unfortunately, one of the spouses passed away, believe it or not. Really, really tragic and extremely upsetting. So this isn't just about one cruise ship or even one tragedy. It's definitely about a system that too often, can treat lives as quote unquote liabilities. It's about making sure that when, our anyone, whether you're young or whatever age, you seek joy, you don't want to find any danger. And it's about honoring the memory of whoever this young woman is. We don't know her name as yet, just her age and just a few details. So I'm not sure who she is, but we don't want her passing to go in vain. This is someone's family, so they're all grieving. There's a lot of rage as to how this could happen, but we all need to act because every single life matters, and every journey should end with a safe return. When you plan your cruise, when you plan any trip, you have put thought into this, you have put time into this. This should be an occasion, an experience that is positive. where there's safety, where it's guaranteed that you're going to return home. This is so awful for this young lady to go on this cruise and for her to be passed away, and now her family has to plan, the arrangements for a funeral. And there's a mystery involved. So everyone, once again, please share this story. Let's take this as a lesson. Once again, we have to be careful. This young woman most likely, allegedly, met someone, and she could have had substances, given to her, provided to her, whether it was a drink, whether it was other substances. Maybe there was a medical emergency due to what she took in. But there's more to come to this story. A lot more details are on the way. So I will listen out for it. And everyone, thank you for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe to this channel. Please share, once again, this story, because everyone can benefit from it, especially when we're traveling. And stay safe. Have your head on a swivel. Doesn't matter where you are. Thank you.